In her acceptance to the president's decision, the embattled member of parliament believes her removal from office as minister will afford her the opportunity to focus more on the developmental needs of her constituents. The president's decision to act on these calls on July 28 came after a number of demands and after Parliament also postponed a decision on her status as representative of the people. However, Sarah Adwoa-Safo sees a silver lining in her predicament. Let me bring you details of that statement cited by Joy News today. My colleague Kweku Asante joins me in the studio with a copy. Kweku, what does the statement say? Let's start first with her appreciation to the president for the opportunity given her to serve as minister.
So Ernest, so many days after the president's decision, Adwoa-Safo says she's now acknowledging the president's letter dated 28th of July 2022 and would like to express her gratitude for the opportunity to serve as Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection. On Friday, 29th July, I handed over all official assets to the administrator of the ministry. It is with profound gratitude that I express utmost appreciation to you for the opportunity to serve as minister in both terms of your government, Ernest.
And then she goes on to talk about what this will mean for her and her role as an MP.
So she says first that it has been an honor to serve at this all-important ministry, albeit for a short time. During the period, we put in place enough mechanisms to ensure a harmonious society where the survival and development of women, children, persons with disabilities, as well as other vulnerable persons in our society can be guaranteed in line with your vision to transform the social protection framework into a robust and more responsive one. I am exceedingly grateful for your understanding, compassion, and unending devotion throughout the past year, especially during a very difficult period for me where I have had to be away from office. Your kind support has been very much welcome, and for that I remain eternally grateful. Then, now Evans, Ernest Menu, he says, cognizant of my duties to the 75,000 constituents who elected me, this development is opportune and will afford me more time to concentrate on my parliamentary responsibilities and constituency engagements, as well as consolidate the gains we have made as a government at the constituency level in our quest to break the 8.
And I guess that is the part that has got the constituency reacting right now, the very final paragraph. And I want to take that again. It says, cognizant of my duties to the 75,000 constituents who elected me, this development is opportune and will afford me the time to concentrate on my parliamentary responsibilities and constituency engagement, as well as consolidate the gains, and you've heard the president use that phrase very often, consolidate the gains we have made as government at the constituency level in our quest to break the 8. So this has generated some controversy and a lot of reactions. Let's start from the constituency. Listen to the constituency secretary, Theophilus Ansah, who says the party is disappointed in the member of parliament and any attempt to maintain the embattled MP will affect their chances in the next election. He spoke on the polls.
Because serious governmental decisions are taken there. So your needs as a constituency will be even heard first before it goes anywhere. That's what I'm saying. Because it's not an ordinary position our honorable member of parliament had. And we were all looking forward to benefit from that. And you say, okay, that is up to her. But what we are saying is that we wish her well if she's coming, that he had a very Herculean task of coming back to make amends with constituency executive committee. She has disrespected for far too long and neglected far too long. Area coordinators, she has done the same too. I can't speak for the municipal assembly comprising of assembly members, right, the presiding member, and all that she has. It is not going to be that easy for her coming, because she has disrespected almost everybody. I came to your studio and said once that she has been unfair to herself.
She talks about breaking the 8, and let me say this, that this may be my personal inference, but I guess it's no accident for us to find Sarah Adwoa-Safo state in her letter that she's member of parliament for 75,000 people. That's a significant number, you do agree. You don't want to mess with that figure. in terms of your agenda to break the 8. So when she points out the number, many believe that that's where, as constituency leadership, you must be mindful of breaking your front. That's the most populous constituency in the country now.
Exactly so. We have 174,000 registered voters.
Yeah. You don't want to risk the number. If Sarah Ajasafo is not treated well, you agree that may affect your chances?
We all wish MPP well. We wish MPP succeed. That's why we are workers of the party, and we are working so hard to has done in this time past, ever since she was voted as a member of parliament, has cost us so much that I think, in my own opinion, will take her a hell of a time to make men move forward to say that we want to break the 8.
Well,
because you have
that's a serious statement you're making as a party executive.
That's what
in
I'm
fact,
saying.
the threat to
for over 2 years. You have, she's an MP for the whole constituency. All constituents of the constituency, including NDCs, MPPs, and all political parties. But MPP as a party has a structure in place to make the party work so smooth, including the work of the MP. And this structure is what I say she has disrespected and she has neglected for too long.
So that's Theophilus Ansalabi. He's the constituency secretary. We'll return to him shortly and to the constituencies for some more reaction to this latest development. But he's not the only one who's been reacting to this. You recall that former MP for Kumbungu, Ras Mubarak, petitioned Parliament on the issue of absenteeism in the House. He's also been responding to this, but also takes on the Speaker, Bombadmin, for postponing his ruling on the status of Ajasafo in the House.
She can say what she wants to say, but I don't see her coming back to Parliament under these current circumstances where she has, made her case very worse, where she has disrespected and could be found to have been in contempt of Parliament by her brazen disrespect and refusal, to appear before the Privileges Committee. She has a chance to write to the presidency, but would not respect Parliament enough to want to write to Parliament or explain why she can't appear before a committee of Parliament. And let me say that those who are, encouraging this kind of conduct from within Parliament are not doing the country any good. Those who seem to be wanting to be in the way of having the Constitution respected are not doing us any. Okay,
Ras, I'll tell you who's in the way. It's your own side of the House, the minority. Dave appeared with a certain posture of delaying the processes, in fact, challenging the First Deputy Speaker on his interpretation of the law, that by now, Sarah Ajasafo's seat should have been vacant.
Well, I'm sure you've heard my comments about the conduct of the minority front bench on this particular issue. It's a self-serving, conduct. It does not serve the best interest of the NDC in the short, medium, or long term. Neither does it serve the best interest of the country. They are on their own institution and would know the people who want to put the interest of their friends higher. Our country would entertain this kind of behavior.
Ras Mubarak there, he is former member of parliament for Kumbungu. But is this letter and the content therein a charm offensive by the member of parliament, Sarah Ajasafo? Is that what it is? Presidential correspondent Elton Brobe joins me on the phone with some more information we're picking up about moves by the MP to close the ranks and also secure her seat. Elton, what do we know?
So, as I've been doing some checks with some leadership in parliament, both on the NDC side and of course also on the MPP side. I've also been doing some checks with the leadership of the MPP. Now let me start from the MPP. Now what I've picked is that as far as the MPP party is concerned, they still consider Sarah Ajasafo as member of parliament on the ticket of the MPP for the people of Dom Kwabenya, because as of now there's not been any finality about parliament for Dom Kwabenya on the ticket of the MPP. If MP, then the party will also take a decision that will inure to the benefit of the MPP as a party. So for my information from the party's angle, they still consider her member of parliament on the ticket of the MPP until otherwise determined by parliament. Now let's go to parliament. Now, remember that before
Elton,
Parliament
this is
went
quite
on,
interesting because we know that we have a new set of executive for the NPP. When John Boadu was at the helm, we had his position on this. I mean, he aligned with the leadership of the NPP in Parliament. They were clear in their minds that the seat should be vacant by now. So that certainly gives you an indication to what the new crop of leaders are thinking and how they would want to approach this. But let's talk about the Parliament now, the NPP in Parliament.
so the position of the MPP leadership in Parliament is that, as far as they are concerned, they've made their position clear on this matter. Indeed, it was their position that informed the decision for the Speaker to refer the conduct of the MP and 3 others to the Privileges Committee for a determination on their status of as MP. Now, remember, before Parliament went on recess, the Privileges Committee had their report debated on the floor. As it relates to Sarah Adwoa-Safo, a decision as far as, the Privileges Committee chairperson, who is the first deputy speaker of Parliament, is concerned, was that so long as she had absented herself from Parliament for over 40 working days, the clerk should simply write to the Electoral Commission telling them that a seat, has become vacant in Parliament, and for that reason, whatever needs to be done should be undertaken by the Electoral Commission so that the people of Dom Kwabena would have a representation in Parliament. The NDC held a different opinion, and they were of the view that the plenary should take a decision on Sarah Adwoa-Safo. Now, the Speaker will, defer ruling on the matter until Parliament comes back in October. But from the MPP side, they have the view that there should not even be a pronouncement from the Speaker. The constitutional, enactment or the trigger should be such that the clerk should be given the opportunity to write the Electoral Commission for that to be done. Because as far as they are concerned, the debate on this matter is not on the table. It is not something that they consider it a matter that should be debated by members of Parliament. As far as they are concerned, it is a close call. They are not aware of this letter that is already in the public domain. Officially, they've not been told why she's not been able to exercise her duties as member of Parliament. On the other side of the NDC, what I'm picking right now, and which is very interesting, is that they were expecting the president to act first before they will see the way clear as far as this matter is concerned. Now, the president having taken the decision to relieve her of a position minister changes the equation altogether. So, would the Speaker have the opportunity to pronounce on this matter? The NPP side is of the view that the class should simply write to the Electoral Commission. The NDC side thinks that Parliament should take a decision.
At the leadership level, because we know they have been in defense of Adwoa-Safo, it's likely that we may see a change when the House resumes.
Most likely, in fact, the information I'm taking right now, some few minutes ago, is that they appear to be satisfied with the position taken by the president, which saw Adwoa-Safo relieved of a position as gender minister.
And Elton,
now,
is that why we are learning of some moves by certain individuals in the camp of Sarah Adwoa-Safo to help address this issue before the House resumes?
Well, as far as I know, in fact, even from the position of the majority leader, he is on record to have said that even on the day Parliament was debating whether the Speaker should pronounce on the seat of Sarah Adwoa-Safo, he had in his office the husband of Sarah Adwoa-Safo. The matters they discussed, according to Osei Mensah Bonsu, mostly were private, and the reasons why the embattled MP has not been able to exercise her constitutional duties as a legislator. He will not go into details as to the matters that were discussed, but he was emphatic that the matter was now beyond him as majority leader, and that the matter has got into a position where there is no coming back as far as the future of the MP is concerned. So as far as the MPP side of Parliament is concerned, it appears that they've washed their hands of this matter for parliamentary by-election.
Elton, thank you very much. That's Elton Brobe, presidential correspondent. Let's go on to the phone lines now. Let's start from Zoom, actually, and speak to Theophilus and whom we heard earlier in that interview with my colleague Blazer Suga on the Pulse. Theophilus, later will be joined by the aide to Sarah Joasafo, Nana Dubin. I'm told he's on the line. Nana, thank you very much for your time here on Top Story.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you. And Nana, I'll come to you shortly, but let me start with Theophilus. Theophilus, you have given the indication that there's going to be a very difficult task if the MP is retained. How grave is if it is a sin, if there is, so much that the issues cannot be resolved, so you face 2024 with a united front? You have 2 more years to 2024. Nana Dubin, who is a special assistant to the Member of Parliament. And Nana, I'm grateful that he could join us. So you've heard from the constituency executive saying that it will be difficult. There's a pushback to work with the MP or any attempt, for that matter, to secure that seat for Sarah Joasafo. Your reaction to this?
Yeah, good evening to your listeners. Personally, I am disappointed, but then not surprised with the position of the constituency secretary, Mr. Ansa Labi, with that coming from him. Let me state that I do not know what it is exactly that in the event that Honorable Sarah Joasafo remains the MP even into 2024, is going to be inimical to the interests of the NPP.
Well, he says that the MP has disrespected the constituency executives, and there are issues. I mean, you need the party structure to support you to be able to win the seat or to retain the seat for the party. And given the relationship issues, it will be difficult for them.
Let me put it this way. Ansalabi is in his 3rd term as constituency secretary. Apart from the first term, where Honorable paved the way for him to become the constituency secretary, for the 2 terms that he's been there, he's never supported the bid of the Honorable Member of Parliament. But regardless of that, Honorable has always gone on to win the primaries and also to maximize the votes of the NPP in the constituency. So whatever he's saying with regards to the executive is going to affect whatever outcome of that election. For me, is neither here nor there, because it's always been like that. But she has always continued to do her work as Member of Parliament, and then she has also continued to maximize the votes of the party in the constituency.
At the end of the day, this really lies with the 75,000 members in that constituency. What has been Sarah Joasafo's engagement? She's been in the country, as far as I understand, for more than a month, about 5 weeks, if not more. Has she made an attempt to engage the constituency executives first, and then the members of the constituency?
As we speak, we are